Michael.
Hello! And welcome to Dangerous Cults and Where to Find Them. We are getting into Chapter 2. We have finished the prologue and Chapter 1. The prologue during which four of our investigators went to Peru and had an adventure there, which was quite chilling, and introduced them to a man called Jackson Elias, a writer of books about blood cults and so on and so forth. And then in Chapter 1, we were taken to New York, where our investigators were summoned by Jackson Elias some years later. Yes, Rick is clearly the king of chat. Some years later, to be exact, 4 years later, so the year is now 1925, where our investigators found Jackson Elias killed brutally in his hotel room. They managed to intercept one of the killers, and after much, investigation, they found out that there was some sort of cult in Harlem which had been kidnapping and killing people rather left and right, it would seem, and pinned the blame on a innocent black man. And whilst solving this mystery, they also realized that this might span over more than just New York. So whilst the mystery in Harlem and New York was solved for now, they realized that this might have ties with a disappeared expedition called the Carlisle Expedition, which was why Jackson Elias wanted them to come to New York in the first place, as he had found out there was a chance that this expedition, which had been publicly claimed to be massacred in Kenya, might actually have some members that were still alive. Perhaps even the chance that all of the members were still alive. Now, the investigators, having met the sister of the one who headed this expedition, he was a playboy called Roger Carlyle, and his sister Erica Carlyle has now hired our wonderful crew to find out what really happened to her brother. Now, in the midst of all this, one of our wonderful investigators, Aisling Burnell, a professor and academic and teacher of linguistics and student of archaeology and anthropology, suddenly disappeared strangely in a bookshop, leaving behind an odd puzzle box that Jackson Elias had gifted her after his death through his will. This puzzle box was picked up by a young lad working in the bookshop where she disappeared. Theodore Atkins thus made his entrance to our story and helped our investigators find some more clues. And finally, they receive a letter from an unknown sender saying it was addressed, I believe, directly to Archie, saying, "I know where they have your sister," if I'm not completely mistaken. So, our now trio, formerly, Four Clover, now reduced to 3 people, are heading to London to find out where this strange telegram sender might be, who they might be, and where on earth Archie's sister has gone. And of course also see if they can find some more clues on this strange expedition that may or may not still be alive. Now, this takes us to Wednesday, the 11th of February, 1925. And we are at the docks in New York, where the gigantic Mauretania sits like royalty in the harbour, towering over the lesser ocean liners which surround her. The shipping agents, Cunard Lines, have expertly transferred Marcel Dubois Etoile's baggage and reserved his staterooms. Now, you are standing in the line, waiting to push your way through the crowds of waving, smiling well-wishers, and as you approach the ship's gangway, many here bid bon voyage to loved ones, whilst others just wish to glimpse the famous Queen of the Atlantic. At the bottom of the gangway, a polite young lady checks... a polite young man checks all boarding passes. You form up to the line behind the other passengers, waiting to go on, happy to be sailing the first class on this luxurious vessel. A bit in front of you, a superbly dressed gentleman is mounting the gangway, guarded by a half a dozen large, brutish fellows. No one gets within arm's length of this haughty, aloof dignitary. One of the bodyguards scurries ahead and produces a handful of first-class passes, and the rest of the group sweeps past the ticket-taker without breaking a stride. Following them is a small, pear-shaped man, fumbling in his pockets for his ticket. In his clumsy haste, he drops the load of books he had under his arm, his other arm, and his glasses as well. The checker retrieves the books, while this nervous little man rifles absently through his coat in search. Ah, there he has it. The line moves on. Past they go, the rich, those who wish they were rich, shopkeepers on their first luxury cruise, the poor, all flowing up the gangway. A priest, head humbly bowed, waits to board. The father looks quite rumpled, and he needs a shave and certainly a haircut. What order lets his priests go out so shabbily? Your turn comes. The nice man takes your ticket and tells you that a steward will show you to your stateroom. For 6 days on the high seas, you'll enjoy everything this ship has to offer, and then pursue adventure in merry old England or on the continent. So, you are now on board the ship. You've been taken to your stateroom, which looks absolutely gorgeous. Lush in every detail, comfortable in every possible way. Eric, would you mind describing your character for us?
Yay!
Well, sure. Should I do it in character or should I just describe him?
As you please.
Well, it's so funny you ask. I'm simply a traveler. My name is Marcel Dubois Etoile. It's a very funny story. I used to attend the University de Paris, and of course, tutor saw my excellence and put a little star next to my name, and therefore, for you have Etoile. It means star. You see? Well, I'm currently traveling here because, let's say disagreements back in the United States. So I'm trying my luck in London. I work as a canceller, if you please. I treat the ailment of the mind and the soul. Perhaps some would call me a psychologist, but I think there is something much more to us than simple flesh and electricity. And I help people with such ailments. And, my outfit, well, you see, it's mostly gifted from my associates or patients, if you will. This white suit is from London. Is where I'm heading. And I got some fine shoes from Paris. Have you been to Paris? No. We'll fix it later. And this sick tie was gifted to me by the Queen of Siam, in fact. Yes. And I suppose you would not care to join me for maybe how you say a drink and perhaps some dinner? Okay, let's just move on. And Marcel walks off with whoever he was speaking to.
Yeah, you've managed to catch the eye of a. She's in her prime, one would say. It seems that she is a widower, and she is on this cruise to heal and move on from her loss.
Yes.
And she's accompanied by her aunt, who is not much older than her, but she's greying in her hair, and she seems to be a lot more sceptical of you than this widower seems to be. The widower seems delighted to have such pleasant company and happily takes your arm, her aunt, kind of sliding up to the other side of this woman, keeping a very sharp eagle eye on you.
But Mademoiselle, is this your sister? No?
And I try to charm the other woman as well.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to take the bait. It you get the feeling that this woman has seen your likes before, and is gonna be hard work to win over. But you're up to the challenge, are you not?
Oh,
Excuse
bring
me.
it on.
Sorry. We have dice.
Yes.
I say let it roll for it.
A charm roll to charm the widower.
I
No,
think
the
I think
aunt.
I think we're going to instead focus on the fact that you are entering
Yeah, that's my.
the lunch area of the ship.
Coming back to that widower.
There is a lounge that you can get seated in while the restaurant and eating area is preparing and setting up for the first meal on board. It is quite an early lunch because, well, you've been boarding rather early, but they seem to understand that passengers who have been waiting in line for a long time and have been looking forward to this may be quite hungry when they get on board. You spot quite a few other people who are seated around. There is a still quite young woman in splendid attire. She has short black hair, cut in the latest fashion. A peacock walking stick, and she is accompanied by two well-dressed men, one quite tall and broad-shouldered, who seems to speak in a slightly Australian accent, and one not quite so tall but still strikingly fashionable figure in a, I believe, white linen suit. No, not linen, it is quite cold. It's probably a wool suit at this point. And they are seated at a table not too far away from you. Yes. Peggy, Sergeant Thomas Cooper and Archie Burnell, what are you doing?
Well, you described
Peggy's
it.
sipping a delightful concoction of something in a very fancy flute, of course.
Probably not yet, because you are technically still in New York.
Oh,
However,
yes, but I didn't.
You have been very discreetly informed that there will be, before the lunch is served, there will be refreshments delivered out to celebrate the 3 Mile. And for anyone who knows relatively much of maritime travel. That is approximately the stretch that the border of the United States stretches to on the water. So once you've passed that 3 mile, you are no longer in American territory, and Prohibition is thus over. So there seems to be planned some sort of minor celebratory toast once that...
Yeah, fancy cup of tea then.
yes, probably quite delightful thin china with golden edges and
Oh yeah.
everything looks so delicate.
I think I was talking with Rosemary about this before. I think since Iffy's the identity we're using.
Yeah, no, Aoife and Lisa are not here currently.
I thought Iffy was coming.
They are on board. They're just not sitting with you.
Now you see, what we had thought of was because Archie's trying to keep his name secret. He would probably change it to Brown, something.
All right.
All right. I'll make the rolls for it if you want, but it's very important to him that people don't know he's coming, because when he turns up in England, someone's going to get hurt. Now, until that point, Mr. and Mrs. Brown, I think he's going to ask Iffy to be his fake wife for the trip.
Michael says Aoife doesn't want to be associated with you, mate.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. See, I imagine in my head it goes something like this. Will you be my fake wife for this trip? Sure. Awesome. Let's go out. Where are you going? Why are you staying here? Oh, because any woman who'd be your wife would not go out with you. That is why he's on his own.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Aoife is occupied elsewhere. You don't know Aoife.
Nobody knows Aoife. She scowls.
But yes, Aoife and Lisa, Peggy's, Lisa is Peggy's assistant, one could say. Secretary, assistant, yes. Keeper of biscuits. Her and Aoife are currently not present
Has the
in
ship
the
left dock?
scene.
It is
Yes.
currently at this point cruising, but still within the 3 mile coast.
Yes, you have only just left shore. You've the three of you and Aoife and Lisa have waved your goodbyes and gotten settled into your cabins, and the you can feel sort of like the water is lapping against the ship, and that strange feeling of no longer being on firm land has started slowly to settle into your bodies, but it's taking a little bit of time to get used
We
to.
would see the Statue of Liberty on its way out, right?
Yes,
Cool,
you can
'cause-
see that from the window near that you're sitting near.
Windows.
Hmm?
Sorry, widows.
Windows. There are windows around here, and you have a very good seat to watch the Statue of Liberty go by. This is, after all, first class.
Cooper does not see the statue at all. The teacups looks kind of tiny in his hands, but he's clutching it with both hands, and his slight green tinge in his face.
Oh no.
Oh.
Really?
Oh,
Do I see this? I see this. Awesome. Yeah. Archie's just leaning forward like a mischievous little 8-year-old shit. So, and he's just going to slowly start moving left to right. Sergeant, are you feeling quite dapper, old boy? You don't look particularly... Well, you look a bit peaky.
I will shoot you.
Oh, behave, both of you.
Sorry, Mom. Yes.
Just give me 24 hours. Probably be good.
Well, you know they say it's best to let it all out, and then it's over. You know, you have nothing left to throw up. Your contents is empty. After that point, it's just foul noises, really, because there's no projectile, no bullets in your gun, so to speak. It's kind of like a noise, really. It's.
Peggy, can I shoot him?
Sorry,
No,
sorry.
you behave. But I think I have something for that if you're willing, Sergeant Thomas.
Sure.
She picks up a tiny little beaded bag and finds a little sachet. This should help.
What is it?
It should help.
What is it?
I don't feel too good either. All of a sudden,
It will help. It's nothing illegal. Don't worry. I get it from my doctor.
That's precisely why I want to know what it is. I am a doctor.
Well, if you don't want it,
Keith
have it.
watches it.
Oh. I had a dog.
The
like
three
him.
of you probably notice a suave-looking gentleman leading a woman in her best prime and a scowling, slightly older woman to a table near you and sit down. They are served cups of tea. The man probably coffee, if I'm not completely mistaken.
Yep.
The lady looks completely enthralled with this man. The slightly older woman, not so much. On a table a little further away from you, Marcel, you notice the little man who was boarding earlier is sitting by a table looking slightly green, similarly to the big man with the Australian accent. There's also at the table further to the middle of the floor, there is a man probably in his 50s and a young woman and a young man in a quite deep discussion.
Hey, can I ask? Because I've been on a few boats in my time, but it's mostly the ferry across the Mersey. So give me a kick. Now, and there was
This
that.
is slightly bigger.
There was that one time with the Danske Båten where everyone was drunk.
It's
and it
also
turned out
slightly
they weren't
bigger.
Danish; they were all Norwegian. That's another story. But is this like a Great Gatsby kind of affair with band playing, or is this all like white
Yes.
faded
Think a slightly more modernized version of Titanic.
without
Really?
the sinking and the murder?
Without the sinking, yes, more lifeboats and such.
Has the band started playing?
Yes, they have.
Okay, then I will definitely ask the lady to dance.
She looks delighted and says yes.
Mademoiselle, of course. Come.
Can I take-
Her aunt looks like she's about to interject, and just like, but doesn't really get there before you've swooped this woman off her feet and onto the dance floor.
Yeah. Wait, Peggy, what was that? Evie?
Well, picking up to dance, Peggy's like, oh, what's the word? God dang it. Not sneakily, but like looking at the two gentlemen, like, are any of them gonna ask her to dance?
Hint, hint.
And then, like, hint, but she looks at Thomas and like, maybe not. He's still a bit green. Wouldn't want anything on her nice new shoes.
I've
But
got new
she's
shoes.
not
Sorry.
anything, but very hinting, like, oh, dancing.
Spot hidden.
How nice.
All right, fine. I notice. Archie kind of goes Actually, let me just see if I can do
Exactly,
that.
that's-
No, I cannot. 89. He notices and goes a slight rosy hint over his cheeks before hiding his face with an action of like just smoothing the non-beard on his face. I don't suppose you care to dance, Peggy, old dear?
Oh, how? Yes, of course. Thank you. Oh. Yes.
Well, it's the. I mean,
Goes like there. Then no, fine. It's just dancing.
I've got new shoes, so I'm going to show them off.
Marcel,
Peggy.
would you
Yeah.
mind rolling a spot hidden for me?
Mm-hmm.
Hidden?
20. Yeah. Well, it's a 21, so I can't have lower than 25. So. Yes, that's good.
Your spot hidden is
46.
okay. Yeah. Yeah. You notice this short and swift but very obvious little interaction. And make a mental note. I'm assuming.
Oh, is it because Archie's nervous? He shouts. It's just as he thinks it. It's like, "Hello, madam. Would you care to dance with me?" But in real life, he's like, "Hey, Paxton, would you like to dance?"
Oh goodness.
I am Tess Smith.
And I noticed that. It was so hidden, and I noticed it.
What is evil?
I see. He's English. Yes. Cool. You're gonna have to help me though. What was the dancing of the age? Because if this is gonna be foxtrot, or is
Fancy
it?
people? Waltz, I guess?
Probably a waltz.
What
Yeah.
Is it the Charleston?
No.
Okay.
No. You're in fine company now. They don't do that here.
Lame.
Not yet, anyway.
Aha!
It's a bit early.
I have to wait for international waters for that.
My God. I think
What would I
Cooper's
have you
got to
roll
throw
for
up.
that?
Oh no.
No, I'm
pause.
not gonna have you roll.
I
You
think-
know the basics of how to dance.
Is there a
Unless- French.
Unless you would rather that Archie was miserable and had two
No,
left feet.
no, Artie can't dance.
I could roll for dodge.
Can't or won't.
Oh, he doesn't need to know how to dance because Peggy's leading.
I mean,
Yeah, for that spot hidden roll, Marcel, you pick that up too.
And you could call it a brawl.
Like, oh my, he asked me to dance. I
You
will
also
show him.
you also notice that her clothes are all from high fashion houses. One of them in specific is a very very well known French one. So
C'est français.
and there it is.
I dance a bit more vigorously to tire my partner out, and I very strongly hint that she should sit down while I
Oh.
continue.
hold on, because I get the feeling that the Burnell competitive side is going to kick in.
Oh, you'll have to roll the spot hidden, I
I
guess.
just did, and I got 17.
Oh.
Without his sister there to try and temper it and continually push him down, this guy is
Now it's a brawl roll.
It's just, I mean, should we roll this off and see who wears down their partner first?
Oh, you can try.
Oh.
Okay, for once, didn't mean that.
Marcel actually has a 6 in ballroom dancing.
That's a thing.
That's the count.
That can't be a thing.
It's arts and crafts.
Oh fuck! Fuck arts and crafts.
Bit there.
I don't want to play anymore.
Arts and craft is the one skill that always comes back to haunt Archie.
Yeah.
Art, not
All
sport.
right. It doesn't really take you that much to wear down this poor widow. She
Who are you talking to here?
she is quite flushed in the face and looks like she's just had the time of her life. And as the music changes or is about to change, she says, I think I'll have to take a little breather here. I am getting quite... Oh, that was...
Mademoiselle, it was delightful. But you regain your spirits and we can perhaps continue this later this evening?
She blushes and says, "Yeah, yes, I will sit down and have some more tea. Yes, it's been
on.
wonderful."
Hi, me again. Why don't you make him roll for that? You made me roll for stuff like this, and I fucked up royally. Make him roll for it. I want to see him get 99 on that action. Are you gonna tell me it's because he's French, right?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe.
That's fair.
Maybe the widow was my starting gear. I don't know.
Archie, I don't know what it is you are trying to do here.
I think what he's trying to do is to outdance the French opponent, but his partner is on Dark Souls. He's on Dark Souls difficulty with Peggy.
Yes.
So as he's like, up in the tempo, Peggy's like, "Oh, good, it's a refreshing pace," because I know what Peggy's stats are, and she's the fighter.
Now we can dance for real.
I think you need to roll a Constitution, Archie.
I think I'll need a Constitution.
Oh.
Wait.
More than
Okay, just a flat cons.
Yeah. Flat con.
Oh man, he put a good effort in. I'm not going to use luck on this. I got 66, but my con is 60. So I'm going to say that he's just like, why the fuck am I doing this?
You can feel yourself getting winded. Peggy, you notice Archie starting to get a bit winded. Can you roll a Constitution as well, but with a bonus die?
What?
Okay.
She's
So
used
after-
to this.
Oh, is she French too?
No, she's been a freaking dilettante. Most
Everyone
of
removes
life.
their masks.
you
Everyone
done?
is French.
What did you roll?
I haven't rolled it because is it below the big square in Constitution?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's
And you can
good.
roll the tenor
Or
dice. You can roll the
That's
tenor die
a-
twice.
That's a 36 out of 75.
You're good. You're good.
Freaking
If
sweaty.
anything, this is just like, this has rekindled your passion for dancing again.
Hmm.
Yeah. Good thing you're leading. I think Archie's leaning on you at this point. And yeah, the wool, he's tugging at the collar on his shirt. I don't suppose we could take a moment. I just need to...
Oh, Archie, of course. Are you all right? Do you also need a pick me up, or are you not that type of pick me up?
Maybe yes,
But
that's
what
like a pick me up. What did you mean pick me up?
Are you feeling quite all right?
Oh
You
yeah,
seem
now I am.
wounded.
Pick me up. Talk more. Sorry, I've activated my second wind.
It's just
He says,
the
wheezing
Yes.
slightly.
oh no! Ow, my foot! I need to sit down.
You're a good friend. You're a good friend, Peggy. Thank you.
Oh no! Oh, I need to sit down as well.
Okay, that's enough. We
I-
need to. We need to really
Yeah.
work on your ability to, yes. Come on. I'm sure Cooper's having the time of his life.
Probably. If he probably would have if he wasn't feeling so queasy. Yeah, roll a Constitution check for me,
Yes!
Thomas.
Oh God.
What?
Eric turns up, flirts, tries to seduce a widow. Cooper turns up, throws up in a bucket, and we're
no.
back.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if Cooper managed to hold his breakfast down.
No. That was it.
Oh, that is so close though. 62 of 60.
Yeah, you
Yay!
are you don't throw up, but you certainly feel like you might be any second.
Throws up in his
Yeah.
mouth.
So you're not feeling
Chokes it
very
back down.
nice. You are not feeling very good right now.
Do I see that Peggy and Archie has sat down again?
Yes, you do.
And I will sashay over to the table.
Sashay over to the table.
Sashay over to sur la table.
Top
And
of
I walk up to Piggy and ask,
Mademoiselle, may I have this dance?
Oh, I'd be delighted. Yes.
At that point, Cooper stands up and walks out
I,
to throw up.
Oh.
Oh God, French! Oh.
That was rude, but I am not unfamiliar with it.
You do notice that the poor man was looking rather green and peaky. So,
yes.
So it seems your husband is ill.
Oh, husband? No,
No?
not my husband. Just a
Your-
friend.
Just a friend. You're a manservant?
No.
No, no, no. Well, s- maintenant,
Friend.
I'm sorry,
Oh.
monsieur.
Je
Excuse
comprends.
me to butt in here, but aren't
What?
you missing your wife? Indicates the older one of the two over there.
no, this is just a dance. It is time for relaxation and
Yes, relax.
revitalization.
Yes, I feel
Just
mightily relaxed. Thank you.
Ouais, but mademoiselle, please. To see dance floor?
Yes, of course. And she practically jumps up like the foot.
Bon.
Yeah, totally.
C'est
It's
bon.
completely fine.
So, what did you say your name was? Miss?
Oh, my name is
Hmm?
Peggy Andrews.
Oh, Monsieur Peggy Andrew. Je m'appelle Marcel Dubois, et toi? It's my most greatest pleasure to meet you.
Oh, as well.
So, what brings you to the waters of the Atlantic?
Oh, just going home for a trip with my friends, just to catch up at
Friends?
home.
No, not family? No? Is that-
No.
is that- No?
Family's up in up north. We're just going to London to my place there.
Oh, you
And
have a
I'm
multiple maison. Interesting. Is something wrong with your friend over there? He looks a bit, how you say, constipated?
Constipated. That is true. Do you think I don't know what you're doing, sir?
I am several feet away. You cannot hear me.
Oh,
All right.
roll a listen, please.
Oh shit! Sorry, I forgot that bit. He just shouts across the room. I have exceptional hearing.
I smile constantly when I look at Archie.
What am I rolling?
Listen.
44. I got 41. Booyah!
Yeah, you catch your name.
Oh,
Uh,
yes. Ears burning. Turns around, looks intently like.
You with that crown on as well. It's just.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot I was wearing it.
King of England when he lost America.
I know you.
You'll be back.
This sea is very tea-ish.
Crunch. Please continue.
Visiting family, but with friends.
Yes,
Anything
where,
particular you're doing?
Can you keep a secret?
Of course.
You-
I don't never kiss and tell.
Oh. Well.
Is
well,
that how the Americans say it? No?
we were hired by someone in New York to solve a mystery, so we're just traveling the Atlantic to figure things out.
Oh, so it's more of a business meeting? Business trip?
Yes, in a sort of way.
You see, it's a mystery. That's quite interesting. What is it? Are you going to raid the mummy in London? Are you going to find Jack the Ripper?
Oh. That would be actually very interesting. But no, and then she stops the dancing a little bit and gets from another pocket, hands him a calling card that it says, Mrs. Peggy Andrews, Lady Detective.
Are you say law enforcement?
Oh no, fixing with the law enforcement car.
good. Oh, good. I thought I was under arrest or something. I have not done anything.
Oh my laughter is just killing. Can Peggy roll an insight or what is called to just why did he react like that for if he thought she was
Yeah.
police?
Psychology.
Go for it.
Is it psychology?
Psychology.
Yes. I don't know if it can tell you the why, but it could certainly confirm that there was a emotion.
Yeah. Well, that's a 40, so yeah. That's out of 71, so.
Yes, you are
Oh,
like
wow.
an open book, as how can I say?
Eric, I think it's up to you how much you would like to, or you think that
I think
she's catching
With
on
that,
to.
as soon as he read the card, you can see that his shoulders tensed up a little bit, and he looked up and down really quickly, as if like, oh damn.
He really stepped in it now. Oh no, law enforcement. No, I never went to school for that. But just some amateur sleuthing. My friends and I always fall into something.
That is
Interesting.
amazing. And you have this mystery in London? Is it something dangerous? No?
No, Peggy's feeling that he's digging a little bit too much. Just yes, something like that. Yes.
Myself is looking for, how you say, excitement somewhere in London, and truth be told, the circles I usually peruse are quite dull. So I'm personally looking for some new opportunity in London. If you ever have any interest in perhaps psychology or someone who's been known to, how you say, get the truth. I always wanted to be, how you say, a investigator. Would be interesting.
To get people to talk without threatening them. I think we might need someone like that.
Well, are you perhaps hiring? No?
Sorry, I didn't catch the last. What did you say last?
Are you currently employing? Pardon my accent.
So you could say you're between jobs since you're so interested in a job?
Yes, of course. No. I'm not unemployed. I'm simply looking for different opportunities. I get bored. How you say? Things sometimes are quite dull.
That is quite relatable. Do you have a table to eat at? You're welcome to come stay at ours, and we can talk, and the guys can figure you out.
I look over to where the widow was, and I hope she has left.
She has.
I go, well, splendid. We can discuss over at your table.
And that is where we're going to cut over to Sergeant Cooper. Cooper, you find the men's restroom, and you are surprised to find that you are not alone in your errand. There is already a small, round, unkempt man with white hair standing in there, dabbing his mouth and looking very greenish, and leaning a little bit crouched over the bench and sort of holding himself up with a hand on the counter and looking very, very uncomfortable.
For the first time.
He looks up towards you and is like, I can't exactly say I've been doing a lot of these journeys, no.
It'll get better. And I'm gonna lean over in one of the toilets.
Yeah, so you enter a booth, and as you do, you see the initially kind of standoffish expression of this man soften somewhat with a sense of empathy for your predicament, which he's far too familiar with. And once you have had your little speech into the white telephone and exit to clean yourself up a little bit, he is still there, but now sitting on one of the chairs that are provided there, and just doing little breathing exercises and trying to calm himself. And he looks up at you and says, I find some solace in not being the only one who has not got exactly a heart for the sea. Yes, Michael, there is a chair in the bathroom. This is first class.
Likewise. This is my, sixth trip on the high seas. Oh, I don't get used to it.
I have been at sea before, but not a journey such as great as this. I can't say I am looking forward to the rest of it if it's going to... Oh, pardon me, You will have to excuse me. By the way, my name is Alvin Morley Patterson. Should you see me around and should I be in a somewhat better disposition than today, then please come over and say hello.
I'm Thomas Cooper.
Wonderful to meet you. Well, it would have been in other circumstances. Pardon me. He rushes off into a booth, and you hear that he is definitely not having a good time. Yes, I guess this was the pear-shaped man that Marcel saw earlier on. Meanwhile, Archie, I would like you to roll a spot hidden.
Are we on international waters yet?
Not quite yet.
8.
8? Oh my. Oh my. Oh, how delicious. For that, I'm going to give you
hang on.
something fun.
8 is a good thing. Why are you making me feel like I've done something wrong?
Oh, no. I am going to reward you for this. The 3 people sitting at a table a little bit further away.
Yes.
You can't help but snatch up little bits of their conversation. Although they are talking in rather hushed voices, and perhaps that's what got you what caught your interest in the first place. There is one man who's dressed pretty, properly. He has a tweed suit. It looks spotless, looks tailored. Probably in his 50s. And he doesn't speak as much as the 2 younger people, a young lady and a young gentleman. The lady looks athletic, stylishly dressed, very on fashion, and but not by far as elaborately lavish as Peggy. And the other one is a big, stout young man, dressed in a white shirt and one of those knitted sweaters or vests over it, and beige trousers. He looks like he's probably done a lot of sports all of his life, because his forearms are what you would expect a professional athlete.
McTavish forearms.
Graham McTavish forearms, indeed. You hear snippets of things that just pique something. You hear them. You hear the woman say something about. if the sisterhood knew. And then you spot something that throws you a little bit. As she leans forward, there's this necklace that seems completely out of place with everything else she's wearing, because it seems like it's made of clay, and it's not like a fashion item or anything. It just seems a little plain for someone who's dressed in quite a flapperish outfit, but it's on a long necklace, and it has what you could swear is very similar to what's engraved on your lighter.
I'm gonna fish it out.
It's a little bit hard to tell for sure, but engraved on that clay thing looks very similar to what's engraved on your lighter.
Awesome. Have they gone into international waters yet?
Not quite yet.
Alright, they don't need to know that. So Archie, paranoia is kind of getting the better of him at this point. Plus, watching Peggy talk to this Frenchman is driving him up the fucking wall. So, Cooper isn't there to make fun of, so he's got nothing better to do. So, he grabs his shirt and does this with it. Just kind of tugs it up so the collar is up in the wrong direction, undoes his tie, pulls it down, gets a bit of the water from, I assume, on the table there's some sort of lamp. Sorry, a vase with some flowers.
There's actually a little jug of water there.
Yeah, just gets a bit of that and spritzes it onto his front. And then scruffles his hair.
As you get up, you see waiters coming in with trays of champagne glasses.
Awesome. I'm just going to take an empty one.
And you're offered one. And there is a stop in the music as the band announces that, ladies and gentlemen, we are now in international waters. You should all be handed a toast very shortly. Let us have a toast for the delights of champagne. And glasses are raised all around.
Oh. Has it got liquid in it?
Oh yeah, that is sparkling champagne.
I've been
and
denied alcohol for so long.
it is, in fact, from the French province.
Fuck me.
Marcel, you are actually impressed at the quality of this, because you've had your fair share. But
In
this
French.
this is high quality champagne.
Am I gonna... Because I was still gonna do something.
Yep.
You're going to drink.
I was gonna say, if you're gonna, like, railroad me with alcohol,
you may
I am
continue
okay
now.
with this. What?
You may continue now. You also have champagne.
I don't know now, because you've just given him alcohol, so whatever he was planning on doing, this is more interesting. So that's a tricky one, I don't know. No, okay, no, he manages to resist the urge. He looks around and then just like gives like a power move towards where Peggy's standing, and then kind of goes like this with his glass. And then goes over to where the table is, where the three people are. Like, with a very drunken kind of like... It's not hard to do when you're looking like this. Does that come under arts and crafts, Ren? Because I didn't use any fucking art or craft!
Maybe disguise.
I'll let it slide for now.
Yeah, good. Otherwise...
You can use your
he'll be
fast
in trouble.
talk.
Anyway, he goes over and points at the...
There's actually a skill called disguise.
Yes, but he's not trying to disguise himself.
I'm sorry,
really.
what? There's a skill called
Yes,
disguise?
there is a skill
Yeah.
called disguise.
You told me it was arts and crafts.
No, that's acting. That's
That was
acting.
acting. Whatever's. Jesus. Alright. Anyway, he goes over there and, with his best drunken slur, points at the woman's necklace It's like not very subtly at all. Like, hey, I say, I've got one from the same collection. Look, and he just drops the lighter on the table. Oh, sorry. Oh, here we go. Picks it up again. He goes, look, see, that's brilliant. Sorry, my glass seems to be. I deliberately pours the champagne on the floor. Well, say deliberately, like by accident. And he goes, oh, bugger, I seem to have broken my glass. I'm gonna get another one. Oh, heavens sakes, this has been a great party.
They all fall completely silent as you do this.
Not even gonna wait. Just leave.
And
Job done.
they exchange looks, and the oldest one, the man, stands up and turns around to you. Excuse me, sir.
Huh?
Would you like to take a seat?
Well, on account of the fact that we're at sea, and yes, please.
Wonderful.
Oh, that accent. That's not French, is it?
No, it is most certainly not. My name is Professor Felix Fulda. These are my students.
Hi, students.
And you are?
Drunk.
Yes, that much is clear.
Sorry, my name is Peter Brown. I
Thousand Germans.
Peter Brown?
Yeah, you can call me Pete. Americans love that, apparently.
Please do sit, Pete. It would
God, I
seem
thought I
we
was
might
sitting.
have something to talk about.
Really? I just work in finances. I just talk in numbers. That's boring. And
Of
you all
course.
seem some very interesting people.
He smiles a little, and the young man looks very guarded. The lady looks a little undecided. She's probably in her mid-20s, and she kind of eyes you up and down, but her eyes keep flickering back to your lighter, if that's still visible.
I mean, he keeps trying to put it back in his pocket, but then
Okay.
deliberately messes up, and then, you know, when you're drunk, you decide to just, okay, I can't pocket right now.
Oh, she
so-
catches it.
Well, she takes it out of my hand.
No, when you try to do it and it slips and you try to catch it, you know, she catches it before you,
Oh,
flips it around and looks at the sign. Roll a spot hidden.
mm-mm.
No.
Do I have any points of inspiration to use? Or is it all
How
just
much
luck?
did you need?
Well,
How close were you?
I was not close.
No.
Can I? This sounds important, people. Can I get a reroll from the chat, please? Come on, you know how this works. Come on, give me some love.
Is anyone up for giving Rick a little reroll?
Push the button. Fine. Yay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, you got a reroll. Oh. You have a reroll with a bonus die and a reroll from Michael, so you can choose which one to
I want to go with
use.
I want to go with the reroll with the bonus die, but I'm going to donate the reroll to Eric.
Oh, you've actually got 3
Look at
rerolls
this.
now.
Look at this, love. Should we just say a pass? Like
Okay.
0-1. No, okay. Okay, reroll on that. Oh god. I can't seem to get under 44. How many times can I reroll this?
Well, you've used 1 reroll with a bonus die.
Yes.
You've got 1 more reroll with a bonus die and 1 normal reroll.
Never mind, got it.
So that's 1. You now have 1 reroll with a bonus die left until the end of the
When
session.
it's from Row, is it called a row reel?
A reroll.
A row?
Row.
It's a row roll.
row.
Yeah. As she
Roll.
snatches it and
Roll.
notices the engraving, you see her pupils widen for a split second. Nothing else, just that. It's just like she is doing masterfully in masking her reaction to this, but she can't control the pupils of her eyes.
Told you it was worth it. Thank you, team. Hashtag team.
And then
Archie.
she just sets it down on the table.
No.
Do you have any idea what that engraving means? Or are you just lucky or unlucky, probably?
Well, I mean, I've had a hell of a week. You could say I've been lucky that I survived it. You could be saying that I was unlucky for it to happen. What was the question?
She's been looking you straight in the eye, and she says, "Sit down, Mr. Brown."
Why do people keep telling me to sit down? Oh, wait, no, I'm not. He sits down.
And you can cut the act.
Was I really that terrible?
It was pretty good for a while there. Anyway, my name is Harriet. Harriet Thorpe.
He just very casually picks up the lighter and puts it in his pocket neatly.
Something tells me we've been running into similar trouble. Am I right?
Well, that depends. Would it be the kind of trouble you don't talk about openly?
Oh, most certainly. The professor is looking a little... His face is looking a little tight, as if he's very uncomfortable with the direction this is taking and the frankness of his student. But he doesn't interfere.
Psychology 13. Can I trust these people? Do they seem sincere and more relieved that I'm not a cultist?
Yeah. At least her. You can't really pin the professor, and the boy, or the other lad, seems just a little bit confused about the entire affair and doesn't seem to know exactly how to react. He just looks like he's just waiting for something to happen or not happen.
Allow me to make the first olive branch. I take it down to a hushed voice. My name is Archie Burnell. I'm heading to London at the moment to resolve some affairs with a certain cult, among other things. Do you know of an author? Particular famous author by any chance? Jackson? Elias?
Jackson Elias.
Yes. The lighter is a gift.
Absolutely, yes. He died recently, didn't he? It was all over the news.
It was all over the hotel room as well.
You were there?
Oh yes.
Oh wow.
Which is why I cannot wait to get this glass filled. What kind of measures can I take right now to put you through at ease? Because I'm going to...
The professor is staring at you. He's been completely quiet, but you just notice that he's staring at you.
Is
Burnell.
Blake?
So, pardon my asking, but are you by any chance related to Ashley Burnell, the professor?
Yes.
I see. Cousin? Brother?
It depends. When did you last see her?
Oh, it was quite a while ago. She was doing a lecture at the Miskatonic University in
Yeah,
Aachen.
that's fair enough. So I just realised how nasty that sounded. Depends on when you last saw her. What does that mean? No,
Has
she's...
something happened to Ashling?
My sister is missing, and I suspect that it has to do something with either
So it's true. I'm terribly sorry. I heard some rumors, but I was not sure if they were accurate or just, you know, how academia can be sometimes. I am terribly sorry.
We're heading to London to resolve that matter as well.
If there is anything I can do to assist, please let me know. Aisling is a very good acquaintance, and we have had many very good and fruitful academic discussions, and I feel we had a very good rapport. And if anything has happened to her, I would very much like to assist in helping.
I appreciate that, Professor. And Harriet, was it?
Yes.
I have a good feeling about you, Harriet, and I'm going to. He takes the lighter and pushes it across the table. I want you to trust me because I have colleagues who I think you need to meet, but I realise that from where you're sitting right now, that could be a dangerous prospect. So I want you to take that as me giving you trust.
I appreciate the gesture, but I think you should hold on to that.
It's probably a good idea actually because I don't have another and I do smoke, so. But
Again, are you aware of what that carving, what the significance of it is?
I'm going to check for my manly pride. That fails. Yeah, of course I do. I mean, everyone does, don't they? I mean...
Right. So what you have engraved on your lighter is called an elder sign.
Is it like, you must be this old to use it, or...?
It has some protective qualities, I could say, from certain influences. It's not like a bulletproof vest or anything, but it has proven to be of help in certain situations. I suggest you keep good hold of that. Keep it close to your heart.
Well, if I recall anatomy.
So, we're okay with this guy, says the third one, finally speaking for the first time.
Oh, is this the sweater one with the shitting pants and he's really big?
Yes. Yes, Richard, we're fine. This is Richard Block.
Hold on a second, I just called him with shitting pants and you called him Richard. Is that his real name?
Yes.
Okay, just checking. I just thought that, if that was a piss take, that would be a very quick piss take.
Also, hello, Tonya. Thank you so much for joining the chat. It's good to see
Tanya. You. Do you mind if I go and find and round up my own small team of ne'er-do-wells? I must confess, at the very least, one of them is far smarter than I am, and would be able to relate upon you a better telling of our little tale.
I suppose it would be a good idea to exchange, knowledge and experiences.
Exactly, neither of which I can do myself. I'm the expendable one who goes in and gets into trouble, you see. But that gives me also an excuse to rescue one of my colleagues from the French. Excuse me.
You see the professor kind of just like lifts an eyebrow and there's a hint of a smile, kind of like
fucking English. Let it go.
Yeah. And yes, Marcel, Peggy, you are handed champagne glasses, and Archie passes you by with his little uppity like, and
all right, no.
Yeah, and it is clear that you have crossed the 3-mile threshold, and the lunch table seems to start getting ready for seating, and you can see that tea trays and mugs and such they're being tidied away from the tables in the lounge. So, very shortly after you notice this, there are some staff coming over to you, informing you that lunch will now be served very shortly. Please take your seats. And, yeah.
Yeah, well, Peggy kind of asked Marcel if he wanted to sit down with them, and then
Yeah.
that's extended to eat with us.
Uh,
And she turns to the table, and there's no one there.
Well,
Yeah.
is the Statue of Liberty French?
would you
Well,
like to
of
sit with my
course.
friends?
Of
There's no
course,
one
I
there.
would never leave a woman alone when she is deserted by her companions.
About this time would probably be when Cooper returns.
Yeah. Cooper returns with his pipe licks.
Ah, classic Cooper.
Yeah.
But feeling better?
A little bit.
Ah, monsieur, I am Marcel Dubois.
And I extend my hand.
Bonjour, mes amis. Je suis Sergeant Thomas Cooper.
Oh, tu parles français. C'est génial. Ça fait trop longtemps.
Yeah. Quickly tell him that I've been working for the French Foreign Legion, and I studied in Paris for a few years to become a medical practitioner for the
C'est
for
magnifique,
the army.
monsieur. That is amazing, monsieur. It was very long since I met someone from the French Foreign Legion. Well, you are in company of Mademoiselle Andrew? No? Are you also part of the... Have you seen private investigator?
Yes. Well, I wouldn't call myself a private investigator. I'm.
He's the muscle.
Well, yeah.
Well, that is clear. I can see it's very... This large frame of this man.
And I feel his arm a little bit.
Oh my god. Hands off, they're mine. I love this.
So
Sorry.
protective.
Also, Marcel shows no fear doing this, and Marcel is a very small boy.
Small boy.
He's not super short, but he's like on the shorter side and very narrow.
Petite.
Yeah, he's a very petite little man. Yes.
Yeah, Cooper is the strict opposite. He's tall, he's muscular, he's scarred in his face. It's, yeah.
You are looking a bit greener than the gills, Monsieur Cooper. Have you, your sea legs have not adapted yet, no?
No. We would think the, what, 6th, 7th, I don't remember, time on sea would be better, but the first day is the worst.
Well, I know the technique. It's about the breathing. You, if you breathe very fast, very much, like it actually slows the stomach a little bit. You should try.
That's why I have the pipe.
But that's not what I had in mind. But
It worked the same way.
now your friend over there, he's looking. It looked like he went from quite sober into extremely intoxicated in about 2 seconds. He cannot hold his liquor now.
Aren't you
And
drunk?
I point to Archie.
No, he's usually.
Thanks, Marcel.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
How much did he have to drink?
Well, they just start serving, and he usually downs a bottle of whiskey every night, so he shouldn't be this intoxicated this quick.
He looked quite
Being
taken
harshly
with
called
that
out.
woman over there.
Can Peggy do it well, just sitting where she's sitting?
How many glasses did he have?
Can Peggy see the change in Archie from like drunk to not drunk as well, or is it too far away?
Roll a spot hidden.
Cooper is gonna join in on this. This sounds very suspicious. He doesn't get drunk.
Dang it, that's in 100.
12.
Completely.
That was
failed.
100.
Yeah, I got 100.
You don't see shit.
You can't see where Archie's gone because you're focused on where he was sitting. And
Cooper, 12 out of 68.
Oh, yeah, he looks sober as a preacher on Sunday right now.
What go?
It's over there.
Oh,
And as you can see, it's fit as a fiddle and doesn't seem to have touched the booze at all.
he's doing an Archie.
He's
You
doing
also
an arch.
see that he's showing off his lighter to
Oh,
the young woman at the table.
There's this great
The
thing,
lighter
it's
that
called
he got
fire.
from Jackson Elias.
Check out the fire. See that? It's my stuff.
Cooper leans over to Marcel and this is why we have me and, well, the muscles when he gets in trouble.
Call it Dis and Troy.
It looked like he needs any help yet. Should we give up?
I give him 10 minutes top.
With the 12 also, you observe that
Sober.
it doesn't seem to be a hostile conversation, but more a conversation where people seem to be gauging each other and like trying to find out, where do we stand?
5 minutes then.
Good lord.
At this point, you're joined by a familiar Irish woman who says, "All right, are you going to join us for lunch? The table's set and we've been told to, sit down."
I just look at everyone else like, eh?
Is this gentleman joining us as well? She
Oh,
looks at
pardon
you.
me. Pardon me, mademoiselle. I am Marcel Dubois. Et toi? And you are from...
Well, currently
Are
I'm
you
none
French?
of your business.
I'm from the
Well, of course, I
business.
did not mean to insult. I simply met these people right now, so I was just merely introducing myself. I apologize if I offend you.
Apology
If I-
considered. So, are we sitting down?
Come on,
Yes. Aren't we sitting down already?
I'm quite hungry. No?
And this Monsieur Dubois is joining us.
Yes, I met him on the dance floor, and he's quite. I think he's quite all right.
All right, you may call me Mrs. Brown.
Mrs. Brun, of course. Madame Brun, of course. Making a mental note.
I down a glass of champagne.
So, Mademoiselle Peggy, you said you were open for employment, perhaps? Is that something we're going? Do you...
Peggy's like, oh shoot.
Aoife's looking from Peggy to Cooper to this Dubois
didn't-
character.
Do the gang first before we got to business, and enjoy some food before we got down to business.
Oh, there's the soul of a French in you. I agree. Food and pleasure first, of course. So shall we go to
Cooper,
setting?
you see Lisa's already seated. And it's a quite big table, but there aren't quite enough chairs if there's going to be that many more with you. Archie,
Hello.
I think this is about the time when you start moving to lunch as well. Are you bringing your new friends with you?
I do believe I will if it's
Yes.
because the aim was to try and get everyone together at the same table. So if it's more prudent to do it that way, then I think if you can't bring the horse to the water, then you shoot the horse because it's not obeying. Anyway, yeah, I bring my friends with me.
I think also Aoife mumbles or like says under her breath as she turns around to walk towards the table. Je suis Irlandais, mon mari est un imbécile. Which you probably catch Marcel.
I just give you a little like, what?
Hello,
Yeah.
everybody. Who's this?
Pardon, je suis Marcel Dubois et toi? Et toi?
And I extend my hand again.
I understood the handshake. Pleased to meet you.
And I shake his hand and I hold both hands and shake it with both hands.
So good to meet you. You must be Monsieur Mademoiselle Peggy's, how you say, underling? No? Employee?
Use this very. Let me just do this correctly. Hang on. It's basically like this.
Nanny the fuck?
Sure. Yes. Let's say that. Peggy.
I have no part in this. I only said friend.
Oh no, I was under the impression that Mademoiselle Peggy was, I mean, the boss of the operation, no?
Well, when you put it like...
No, actually, that's pretty fair. Yes.
I did not mean to
Got a
offend.
point, Marcel.
I did not mean to offend in any way.
I see this is going to be quite the joke.
Can I have my hand back, please?
And an Englishman, a French, and a German walk into a bar.
Cooper's ears almost starts twitching when he hears the German accent.
Cooper, settle. Frenchie, sit down. Everyone, sit down.
It
There's not
would
enough-
appear that there are not enough chairs. Shall we
Oh,
call
ju-
the staff and see if we
yes,
can have
I
some
will sort that.
seating
1 second.
arranged?
Hello,
Uh,
garçon.
good afternoon.
Christ, they got
I
me doing it
am
now.
Professor
Garçon
Felix
means
Folder.
boy.
I am Professor Felix Folder, and these are my two students. I was introduced to Mr. Burnell just earlier. I'm also a friend of Miss Aisling Burnell. We
Oh.
have worked together.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I am Marcel Dubois et toi?
Pleasure to meet you too. Yes. He takes your hand and shakes and does the same with Peggy.
Again, I
very
hold with both hands.
He takes Peggy's hand and very politely and formally kisses it, but not like in a sort of like more like a very proper.
Never on the first date.
He introduces his two companions. This is Harriet Saab and Richard Block. They are my students. We were invited to join you by your companion Archie Burnell.
I said 3 chairs. 3. Look at my fingers. Oh fuck, no, 4 chairs.
Lisa comes over to Archie and just like looks at him and puts her hands on his shoulder as she walks behind him and just has him sit down and then walks over to one of the staff and seem to have a very polite, very pleasant conversation. And not a minute later, there are some more chairs brought over.
Sergeant, Lisa touched me and now I can't feel my legs.
Lisa is the MVP.
It's not like I was doing
Cooper-
anything with them, but still.
Cooper's just
Eve is
staring.
shooting daggers at you, Archie. And is kind of eyeing the chair beside her. It's like, "Sit down now." Brunel? Why do we
Cooper
even
is,
bother with the paperwork?
Marcel pulls out the chairs for all the ladies in the party.
I will now sit next to my wife. Dunk, 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 dunk. Plumph. Sits down again. Takes Iffy's hand in his. Hello, darling.
Is he not new over married, Monsieur Archie?
I'm still standing there, slowly pushing the chair in.
Peggy just wants to disappear behind a glass of champagne. This is just too much.
Lutra, please remind me what's Aoife's real last name. Because I've forgotten to note it down.
Who's Burn?
Burn. Yeah, burn. Yeah.
Burn.
Yes. Cool. Yeah. Finally, there are seats enough for all of you. And you are seated.
Oh, door. Yeah.
Door. Excellent. You are seated, and there is food brought out, and it looks like it's going to be a very pleasant lunch for all involved, perhaps somewhat except for Sergeant Cooper, who is both none too pleased, apparently, over the situation, and still feeling a little bit queasy.
The queasy feeling has disappeared between anger. Kind of behind
It
anger.
has been replaced, yes.
Yeah.
Overshadowed by the anger.
Sergeant Cooper, perhaps you can try this. And I put my hand and pull out a tiny little packet, like small pellets, and I give him one. This is Chinese medicine, no? It should help you with your stomach issues.
I'm
Something.
I'm good.
Do I
It's
recognise that
only
packet?
it's only a natural ingredient. It's the leaf called ginkgo and root called ginseng and some
yeah.
cocaine.
And so cocaine. Okay.
No, yes, this bit. It's also
You are all very
uh,
familiar with
cup.
cocaine. At least, well, Archie and Cooper has encountered it, and I think also Peggy has encountered it.
I think that was a real
Yes,
thing. It's like Chinese medicine mixed with ginkgo and cocaine. If I'm not mistaken.
Seems
supposed to be a
legit.
stomach thing.
Seems legit.
Peggy kind of leans to Sergeant Cooper. Are you feeling quite alright?
No. Excuse me for a minute. Archie,
What?
come with me.
Oh.
God, what have I done now? Peggy, Harriet, Peggy. You two should talk. Oh, and Professor and angry apprentice. Yeah, leaves the room.
Apprentice.
I do apologize for my friend's erratic behavior. Did it bother you at your table? Is that why he pulled you here, or no? You were friends with and you his sister. I do apologize.
No apology is needed. We seem to have found out we have somewhat similar experiences with some darker elements of society.
So
Harriet
So, like-
leans over and picks up her pendant and kind of like twists it so that she shows off the engraving on it. And I'm not going to ask you to roll for it because you've seen Archie's lighter and the engraving on it, and it's the same.
oh,
Your friend noticed that we had matching symbols on our person, and it turns out that we may have had some similar experiences with unsavory people, should we say.
like cult?
Yes, very much like that.
Oh,
And he revealed that you were there when Jackson Elias was found dead.
yes. Yes, we were there, right in the middle of it, and everything. Kind of had to fight some people. Yes, yeah. Interesting. Where did you get your pen from, if I may ask?
It's it was made by a shopkeeper. He's no longer with us, unfortunately. We had a bit of a run-in with a group that called themselves the Sisters of the Shore. up in New England. They had some dealings with I don't know how else to phrase it. Creatures of the sea, I suppose.
Marcella's currently been drinking the same glass of water for like 5 minutes and not put it down.
Too enthralled with what she's being told.
Yeah. Yep.
She's about to start describing these creatures, and she doesn't get far because this tugs at something very familiar. And there's a word that's mentioned, Dagon. And you feel your heart skip and shivers just roll down your spine.
Ah!
I'm sorry, are you alright, Mrs.?
Oh yes, sorry, I didn't introduce myself, did I? Mrs. Sort of, Mrs. Peggy Andrews.
Delighted to
You
meet
can
you.
just call me Peggy.
Yeah.
What? She just completely
You're-
falls silent. Yeah.
I see you are familiar with deep ones.
Quite familiar. My late husband and I fought some a few years ago.
I'm terribly sorry for your loss.
Marcel
Thank you.
starts taking notes.
Yeah. Oh no, another widow.
He literally starts taking notes, and he looks super excited. Like,
You know, there's a point in here where I'm thinking, like, would any of us really invite this other person to the group, like, willingly, you know, just trust them? And then at the same time, it's like, this guy's an ass. Let's bring him along.
Well, he was kind of invited. It's just that the others were never told that this person wasn't already part of your crew. So,
Oh my god!
yeah, and Marcel is
I love
really
it.
like
so
trying
these
hard
three are
not to
just
tell them.
assuming that he is
pulled
part
an
of
Archie.
your operation, if
He
you will.
literally did what Archie did the first episode, but he did it better.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
With that, I think we're going to cut to Thomas and Archie.
Is it going to be like
but
mid-fist
before we grab that scene, we're going to have a short break
Tea break.
because I see it's been about an hour and a half.
Yeah,
Sorry, our sound cut off.
Yeah.
We didn't catch the last 2 minutes.
Oh, sorry, I said that we're going to take a short break. So we will be back at 1:45. So we're going to have a 10-minute break, and we will see you back very shortly. So don't leave, and we'll be back very soon. And we are back. We're just waiting for Teddy to return. Just realised we haven't actually done introductions. Because, as you can all see, we do have our new wonderful player, Eric, on board.
Where?
Who will be joining us for the foreseeable future. Teddy's also back. So, those of you who have watched this stream for a while already know people, but for those of you who don't, hi, I'm Ren. I am the keeper of arcane lore for this campaign. And then we have Rick, who plays Archie Burnell, sitting down there. Teddy, who plays Sergeant Cooper, and Ivy, who plays Peggy Andrews, and that is our crew. So, with that out of the way, without further ado,
That pesky business.
we shall continue. as Sergeant Thomas Cooper trots away from the table, followed by Archie Burnell. Followed by Archie Burnell.
Are we going on
As
to the
soon
side
as-
deck?
As soon as they're, outside earshot,
Yeah.
Cooper's gonna grab the collar of Archie,
Oh,
push up against the wall, and you brought fucking German to the table.
that's it? That's why you're so mad? Like, literally, feet off the ground, right, up against the wall. There's a fucking Frenchman at the table! Do you see me cutting a rug? Or kicking up a fuss?
Well, that's good old-fashioned family racism.
Welcome to the 1920s,
Because I
man.
was fighting on French side against the Germans. I've been shot at for a year in Foxhole by Germans.
You know, I'm Irish and I use an English accent, right? I mean, if you want to talk about petty hatreds and stuff, would you put me down? I'm sorry, do I need to convince you?
I drop him.
Ah! Yeah, what are you lot looking at? Keep walking. Look, I know there was this big old thing called a war, and there was lots of your friends shot by some sausage eaters and something dice. And, you probably killed a lot of them too, but none of those guys are anywhere near us right now. Okay? Okay.
I've been in Turkish jails. I can't stand. I can't stand Turks. I'm Australian. I can stand the British.
I mean,
But you had to find the German.
while I'm on a roll, let me go and find a Turkish architect for you. We can redesign your cabin. Look, it's been a pat you on the shoulder. Sergeant, it has been one hell of a month for us, hasn't it? Really?
Yes.
And really what you should be thinking of is, turns with him as if looking into the camera, into the audience, how much worse it can get. I mean, think about it. Forget Turkish prisons. Imagine all of the stuff we've dealt with in Peru. And then there was that business in the basement with those cultists, and then the hearts and all of that. My friend, we've got some new tasty horrors.
Point taken.
Yeah. Kind of puts everything into perspective, doesn't it?
But I will shoot him if he turns out to be a veteran.
Yeah, I'll take those odds. I don't really know the guy anyway, so sure. Although, now, I know that note, you should consider, I'm not going to help you deal with Peggy afterwards.
She'll understand.
Will she? I mean,
I'll take those odds.
I'm just saying, I may have used that well of understanding that Peggy has. I think I ran that well dry today. She's all out. Peggy is dry for patience and understanding right now. And that's on me. But
Are you basically saying that Peggy is as dry as Bezos' wife?
Sure, but it's out of context. What I meant was... she is ready to shout at the next one of us, points at me and...
Oh no, it was Shapiro, sorry.
It was Shapiro, but probably Bezos as well.
Yeah, probably.
The next one of us that fucks up, that person's going to get it. So let's make sure it's the Frenchman, okay? What's the deal with that guy anyway?
I mean, he's French. It can't be that bad.
Yeah. I mean,
So, before, I'll behave for now. And as you walk, as you slowly walk back towards the table,
Yeah.
just whispers. Technically, I'm also French.
that's right. That's right. You go ahead. I'm gonna take the opportunity to get some good air. Takes a cigarette out of his cigarette thing,
Holder.
takes the lighter out, and lights a cigarette, and then just stands there smoking.
You know you can smoke that at the table.
Yeah,
It's
but
the
he's
20s.
considerate because that happened even
Fair.
back then.
Oh wow.
Fair.
Perfect
It's very
development.
much encouraged.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's healthy.
Does Cooper
So,
return to the kid table?
does he return to the table alone?
Yes.
Yes, Cooper returns to the table alone, sits down next to Marcel. If it,
Ah, Monsieur Cooper, ça va? You're feeling
Professor
better?
Fulda, having just been
wow.
like mid-sentence, kind of trails off as he sees Sergeant Cooper return. Alone.
Yeah, I know, right?
Mr.
Uh,
Cooper
I see
is...
Archie walking behind the scenes with a gun or something.
Is, Mr.
Oh,
is
no.
Mr. Bonnell alright?
Why?
Well, you seem to have left in a bit of an upset mood.
Who's Mr. Burnell?
Mr. Archie Bonnell,
Excusez-moi, I do believe Monsieur Cooper was feeling seasick. Is that not right, Monsieur Cooper? And I give a slight wink. I suppose Archie was helping you, no?
Oh, you are having a bit of the old seasickness, yes?
It's passing.
Ah, yeah. Good, yes. I remember quite vividly experiencing the same when I traveled over from Germany the first time.
And that was when?
Oh,
Doctor.
that was back in. Let me see. It must have been in 1902. Yes, 1902. That was the last time I traveled. But the first time was before the turn of the century. The boats were not as fancy as this back then. I can assure you. I had just finished my degree, and my parents saw a certain political shift in the air and told me that it was time to leave the country. There would be nothing good coming out of this situation. And lo and behold, a few years later, the Great War was upon us, and we were sat in the America mourning the loss of all the soldiers and the madness of my people.
So you have been in the Americas since before the war, no?
Yes, I have American citizenship now, and I served in the war for the American Army.
Oh, goodness, you are practically American.
I would like to consider myself so.
Very clearly relaxing when he hears this.
Trauma bias subsiding.
Cooper's blood pressure.
Sheesh.
You basically see his skin color just. There
Well,
we
they did say he was green earlier.
Cooper's friend who persuaded him to become a medic in the first place can hear his heartbeat from France
God,
going.
somewhere somebody just nearly died.
But Monsieur, you were saying something about Dagon, no?
Yes, we did have a run-in with what we can only assume was a cult of the deity known as Dagon.
And I
Yeah.
am assuming you are not referring to the Sumerian god Dagon? No?
Well, that is, as they jokingly say in the Americas, an ecumenical matter, is it not?
Sorry to butt in, Professor, but where was it you met this cult? Was it?
This was up in New England, Massachusetts area. It would seem that you yourself have some experience with the same. You mentioned you had a run-in with deep ones.
Yes. Now I'm just. It was was it New England or was it New Orleans?
No, it was
Peggy.
wasn't it in Florida? Orlando.
Oh, it was Florida.
Yeah.
Orlando. I keep thinking New Orleans, but Orlando. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm back on track.
Small coastal village in Orlando. How is Dagon spelled? Just the way you spelled it, Lutra.
Daggone.
Oh, Dagon.
Dagon.
Oh no, he didn't.
Can I just butt in with a small fun fact?
Yes.
I just looked up if I could find any sort of slangs for Germans during World War One.
Oh god, Teddy.
Yeah, and of course the French the casque à point so goes for the spiked helmet, and it says here, in modern British and American Sign Language, the word for Germany continues to be an index finger pointed at the top of the forehead, simulating the spiked helmets.
Well then. We do love a few bits of historical facts here and there in this stream.
Are they wearing spiked helmets right now?
It's like Cooper
It'll be
walks in.
hilarious,
The
but
professor
I don't-
sure isn't.
I just say Cooper walks back in. He better not be a veteran. And the guy's sitting there like the Kaiser with his monocle and a freaking helmet with a spike. No, I am just in academics, you know.
I am a civilian.
Oh no.
Oh Christ, like a Prussian or something.
But yes, you were saying so in Orlando, so that is quite far south compared to.
It is quite a ways away, and I was sent on a little excursion there, since I'm a lady detective, and my then boyfriend turned fiance on a trip joined me, and we encountered one of the deep ones, and there were a lot of cultish activity to worship Dagon, and we ended up killing a deep one, actually.
It is quite spectacular, if I may say so myself. We we nearly escaped. What is it you say? By the skin of our teeth?
And can understand that. Not a very easy cult, like other cults, not very easy to deal with.
No. It is concerning, though, that they seem to be spread so wide, all the way down to Orlando. Is yes, that is concerning. I think I will have to write back to Arkham and inform my associates there about this.
I thought we found it and destroyed it. They just ended it there, started and ended there, but if it's even bigger than that, that's we're out on orbits.
It would seem that Dagon worship is prone to be in smaller places, coastal settlements and such. It relies heavily upon the sea and culture that lives by the sea, such is the nature of the deep ones.
Yes. Teddy.
And if you don't mind me asking, would you describe one of these deep ones?
Yes, I could certainly try. For lack of a better word,
Fishy.
fish hybrids, fish humanoid hybrids of a grotesque manner is the best I can summon up.
Marcel starts sketching.
This is why
In
you
his little
don't
book.
do. This is why you don't do tripods, by the way. Just want to tell you.
Okay, I rolled a 2 for arts and crafts, fine arts to draw a deep
Oh.
description.
Oh my god!
And then it started out, does it look like this? Like this?
I think whilst you sketched, because Harriet seems to have been taking an interest in the fact that you're interested in their tale, and it's like embellished a bit, like with the wide eyes and such. And she looks at the drawing, and she just like, you can visibly see that she's like shaking off a bit of a shiver. It's like, yeah, that is pretty point on.
That is interesting.
Marcel is like absolutely like screaming on the inside with joy because he finds this so interesting, but he looks really focused.
That is very interesting.
I don't know if the rest of you have been reading the chat, but Luther does mention, is Professor Fulda familiar with Professor Anthony Cowles? I don't know if it's relevant, just making a connection to Arkham and Miskatonic. Do with that as you may.
Can't really see the qualities. No.
Jag har nog fallit för det också.
Ja, det är dåligt. Just a moment.
In fact, that could be something that Aoife points out. Excuse me, Professor Fulda. You said Arkham. Do you happen to, by any chance, have an acquaintance called Professor Anthony Cowles? I was working there. Cowles, yes, we have had some meetings. I've not had the pleasure of having longer chats with the man. He is usually quite busy and difficult to get hold of, but we do see each other on campus on a regular basis, so I am quite familiar with the man, yes. Is there any... Are you familiar with Professor Cowles?
Sorry.
Did you miss out?
We fell out a little bit there. The internet is a little bit.
So Aoife's just asked Fulda if he's familiar with Professor Anthony Cowles at the Miskatonic University in Arkham. And he mentions that yes, they are colleagues, and they have, in fact, worked at the same institution for some time, and so see each other regularly at campus, but he's not had the pleasure of any in-depth conversations with the man. And he asks if you do, since you ask.
Well, no, that was more Ashling's field of expertise.
Yes, she was paying him a visit, was she not? I remember she called upon me, and we had a cup of coffee that day, and she said she would be going over to Carl's place later in the day. I remember it. It is not long ago.
Yes. But, so Peggy's looking at Cooper and then, oh, is Archie back yet, or is he still missing?
Aoife butts in and says, not personally, but we did find a flyer to one of his lectures in Jackson Elias's room, and Professor Burnell, as you mentioned, went down to see him a few days prior to her disappearance. Nothing seemed untoward, but
That,
at least not from
exactly.
Professor Burnell's account.
That's we're on the we are on the trail of Aisling went missing days ago. We're trying to find out what happened.
I see.
We have our plates full, to say the least. We have.
But
So it
do
would
you
seem...
do you know what she? Oh, I thought Aisling told us everything, and then she goes missing, and now suddenly there's deep ones and more cults and people that know and that we don't know, and I don't. Help!
I don't know what to say. Yeah, we just thought we'd run into this weird cult sect thing, and I mean, they were trying to get immortality and stuff. I said that right, didn't I? Yeah. And I thought we foiled them. Didn't we foil them? You said we foiled them. Harriet is kind of nodding. But
Pour another glass of champagne and slowly slide it over to Peggy.
but
You look like you need it.
She takes it slowly and poof.
it seems that they may have been a little bit more powerful than we expected, and they yeah, we kind of ended up having to flee Arkham because of this. We're currently actually headed to Jerusalem right now to consult some arcane works that are available there. Hopefully we'll be able to learn enough to get rid of them and, stop them for good, but yeah. This isn't exactly something that you can look up in a newspaper.
Certainly not.
Did we find out why they were on the boat?
Why who were on the boat?
The professor and his.
Yes,
to
she, as she
Jerusalem.
just said, they are headed to Jerusalem now. They are kind of on the run from this cult and hoping to find some information in some arcane works that are available only in Jerusalem, and consult them to see if they can find a solution to their problem.
Okay, because again the internet just died again. Sorry.
That is completely fine.
So that's.
Time for Archie to return, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, you just say when he
Yeah.
returns.
No, he come back in, looking a lot more calmer than he was before.
Oh, so there is our Mr. Burnell here.
Hey. Sits back down next to Iffy. Ugh. She needs some air. A lot to take in, you understand. So what I miss? Let me guess. Colt? Colt.
I hold up my drawing.
Oh! Right.
Yes, it's very interesting.
But it would seem
No.
that you are not so familiar with these deep ones yourself, Mr.
Yeah,
Dubois and Burnell and Cooper.
I am what you say a new hire. I had some experience with cultists and worshippers of the dark arts, but I'm more of a journeyman, if you say.
What?
Alright. Alright. I see.
How many cultists are there? I mean, I thought it was just like, a fad or something, but...
No, it was indeed a fad. Have you ever eaten a mummy in France? The bourgeois, they tend to have these parties where they gather around this mummy that is stole from Egypt, and then they eat it.
I thought snails were bad.
I participated once. It's just silly indulgences, but no.
So many questions. Well, okay. So,
I see.
the connections aside, you have your own problem and we have ours.
Yes, we have yet to really hear exactly what issues you have run into.
Well, where to begin? I mean, do we even mention the whole debacle of Peru? I think we've laid that one to rest.
Debacle of Peru?
Debacle. As in...
Debacle?
So this seems to your troubles span all the way to Peru.
I mean, that's where we originally met.
I see.
And then there was a whole spot of Cari City.
No, but we
Yeah,
finished that cult stuff. Now we're on new cult stuff, aren't we?
Yes, I guess we wiped out that cult. Now we're on to the
What
next
is it?
one.
You certainly go around.
No, yes.
Very interesting.
Oh, I just rolled a 1.
What were you rolling for?
For the professor's history and mythos. Carrie, you say. Yes, it is flesh eaters, yeah? And
Bloods.
yes, I have read of them, and I did read Mr. Jackson Elias's book. Based on his excursion in Peru, I did not realize that this was in fact legitimate.
Oh yes.
Oh, we were there.
Horribly.
Interesting, yes.
Killed a few of them.
Marcel wants to wave over a waiter.
Yeah.
And just, can you get drinks for everyone here? Just coffee for me.
You are brought drinks. Your champagne glasses have been generally regularly filled up, unless you've asked otherwise.
Question. If my character's gonna do something that's trying to nobody to see, do I have to roll for that? Or just tell you and you just let it happen? Or
Tell me what you would like to try to do.
Well, Peggy's going through a lot right now because dead husband, everything happening there, and now the Karasiri trauma back up again, and just it's been a lot, and she has been prescribed good medication from her doctor. So she's just gonna try and get some of that without nobody noticing, because she just needs something, but she doesn't need any anyone to notice what she's doing or notice her.
Fair.
It's a bit
Oh,
a
sorry.
lot.
I dropped something. It's quite alright. Yes, you can then roll a sleight of hand. Or stealth, whichever you prefer of the two.
I think stealth, because sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Bullshit. No, absolutely not. Absolutely.
What did you roll?
A 78.
Oh,
Ooh, that's a bad one.
And I have 43.
it's not terrible.
Why don't you do, give me a luck roll.
What's that again? It's just...
Just roll your luck.
Roll under your current luck.
Ah, right, okay. No, that's sanity. No, that's nothing right now. Luck. My current is... Yes, that's under luck.
Okay. So, you don't manage to hide it so that no one notices, but you're lucky in the sense that the one who does is Harriet, and she basically makes a little diversion by saying, "So, if you don't mind me asking, Mr. Brunel, this lighter, where did you get it? Because, I mean, how did you stumble across a lighter with an elder sign engraved in it? And how come you didn't even know it was an elder sign?"
Where to start? First of all, it was a gift from Jackson Elias.
Oh.
As I understand it, he knew what the elder sign was.
Marcel is diligently taking notes.
Mrs.
Yeah, by now Peggy's completely forgotten about.
Marcel finds this very fascinating.
And
Oh yeah, her distraction proves very efficient, so no one else seems to have noticed.
Wonderful.
but yeah, elder sign didn't know until today. I'm rather glad I bothered you.
And I'm glad that you bothered us too, because it seems that we could potentially have use for each other's knowledge, I guess.
Or Braun nudges over towards Cooper. He's been very handy against some of the bigger creatures, shall we say. Having a war veteran on your side has its pros.
You're war veteran, Mr. Cooper. If you are you going by any rank these days?
Sergeant.
Sergeant Cooper. Yes.
Sergeant Thomas Cooper of the French Foreign Legion.
Oh, you suffer the interesting. That you must be very competent.
They thought so.
I did not see much action myself. I served mainly, in camp and such. My eyesight, unfortunately, was not sufficient enough to be around weapons. I helped mainly with logistics and such. But
You were one of the lucky ones then.
I do consider myself as such, yes.
And breathe.
I I lost a lot of good men to in Verdun of other among places
You were at Verdun.
the last 2 months.
I'm very sorry to hear that. The things you must have seen, I cannot imagine. And you have my sympathy for that. I can understand now why you might have felt a little tense at my presence. Not knowing where my possible allegiances lie, I can only imagine. And I am sorry for any distress I might have caused you.
I will admit it. Your accent caught me off guard.
As too many. It is understandable, and it has proven to be quite a bit of a obstacle in my work, considering I, well, according to my homeland, fought on the wrong side.
But on the subject,
Indeed.
these deep ones. How did you deal with them?
Well, we managed to foil a ritual that this Sisters of the Shore were planning, and we thought that was the end of it. But there have been some unpleasant after effects, one can say, which indicates that they might still be at large. He looks over at Richard, who kind of twitches a little bit and had some dreams, some really unpleasant dreams. And that's pretty much all he says, and he kind of just looks down like it's something very embarrassing he's just confessed to. Harriet looks over at him and kind of just puts her hand over his clenched fist and squeezes it lightly and reassuringly.
I've seen my fair share of dreams. I know it can be difficult.
So, there might be some books I have in my possession that could be of interest to you. I shall not say the names aloud here around the dinner table, but we can convene at a later point, perhaps, and discuss it in a slightly less public setting.
My cabin should hold everyone.
She says cabin, but it's really a suite.
My little dainty cabin.
It is not the nicest one and the most expensive one, because you got the tickets quite late, but it's a sweet suite.
It's by the boat.
Yeah. It would have space for everyone twice over, I would think.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. A little bit more private, and we can be comfortable there.
Yes, that sounds like a very good plan.
Yes, I would very much like to know more about this.
Oh, you... Ah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why is he still here? No offense.
I do
Maybe-
apologize. I was so caught up in everything that happened that I completely forgot. This yes, he introduced. Yes, you know his name. Yes.
Okay, of course. Monsieur Peggy is okay.
Since
Come
we
down.
lost both Ashling and Theodore, right? Yes.
Yes.
I thought we might need some more different capabilities that we already have, and he seemed pretty capable.
Well, I'm merely looking for employment. I is
Yes,
maybe to London to try my luck with different connections, but Mademoiselle Andrews here seemed quite keen on diversifying this, how you say, troop.
I don't like him. He reminds me of me.
Is that bad?
Well, well, Monsieur Burnell, I would never state I was that handsome. No.
He can stay.
And I take out a small cigarette case that looks really fancy, and I offer one to Archie.
Yeah, Archie probably takes out his own cigarette case and looks at yours and looks at his and goes, "Fuck!" No, you're gonna just take the cigarette, pulls out the lighter with the Eldritch symbol on it, or the Elder symbol, and just lights it up.
It is definitely not an eldritch symbol.
I was gonna say,
It's an elder sign.
he flicks the lighter and the third dimension collapses, or something.
And then Marcel puts it back, but he does not take a cigarette for himself.
Besides, I mean, our friend here's heard way too much, so either we keep him around, or we have to kill him.
I vote for keeping him around. I think he would be quite helpful.
Good, because we haven't got any carpets in the area. Winks.
The professor first laughs because he thinks it's a plain joke, and then he realizes that it might not have been a joke, and he goes a little.
Oh, Archie's like that. Don't worry. Don't.
Yes.
Good.
Cooper leans over to Martin. It's okay. We're on the open sea.
Archie takes a sip. It is literally, yeah.
Marcel looks over to Peggy and goes like, "You are certain you are the boss of the operation?"
Yes, I am.
Oh, thank God.
It's
She is the one that was hired, so.
Most
That's,
qualified.
To be fair, yep.
good with Marcel. Good with Marcel. He's. Well, I mean, we probably have a lot to catch up. I think we've studied at the same university.
You studied at the Université de Paris?
Yes, I did.
Oh, très bien. What subject? Or maybe we
medicine.
can discuss this more in Peggy's quarters.
I think we're
I,
going to say that you wrap up lunch and
Yes.
slowly move towards
Everything is cold.
Towards Peggy's quarters, probably having ordered a few bottles of champagne to be sent to the room as well.
Oh, yeah. And then, you won't believe this bit, but then she took a barrel and she slammed it over this guy's head. I have never seen the like of it before. Remember a certain waitress?
Yes, but he doesn't know who that was.
Yeah, but that's, what happens when you get drunk and you start telling tales.
Ah. Mr. Rachida is terrific. Tell me more of your stories.
So anyway, there was this waitress, and she had a barrel. And the things she could do with that barrel, I gotta tell you.
On your way to Peggy's stateroom, you are passed by this very well-dressed man that you, Marcel, saw boarding the ship earlier on. He is surrounded by 4 very buff-looking men in quite tight suits, and they kind of like just flank him on every side. This man is wearing immaculate formal wear, and they kind of just swoop past you without leaving even a single thought. It is clear that these 4 men surrounding this one man are most likely in his employment as some sort. They look like bodyguards because they're well dressed, but they're just in suits. He looks like, yeah, this is upper class business shit. Let's see. I'd like you all to roll a listen.
Okay.
Listen.
I the Arts of an Arnold.
Oh, fuck off! Sorry. I just rolled like 390 somethings in a row. I give up. No.
Remember, you have an extra reroll.
Oh, I just about rolled under. Nice.
Sorry, Dad.
Listen.
Yes.
Yes.
If you roll 45 and you have 45, is that a fail?
No.
You could just use
it's,
a point of luck.
Then I rolled 45.
Yeah.
Exactly
What did you
45.
say, Teddy?
Cooper's ears goes pop again, and suddenly I think his hearing might be a little bit better. I rolled
Ah.
an 8. I rolled an 8.
Oh. You're the one who stands closest, so you're the only one who's gonna catch this. You hear a very low, murmured conversation between this man in the middle and one of his, bodyguards. What languages do you speak?
Yeah. I speak
Australian.
English, French, and Arabic.
Okay. You do not understand what they're saying, but you can hear very distinctly that it sounds Russian.
Russian.
And you can also hear from the intonation of the man's voice, the one in the middle, that he's definitely someone in charge, and these others, that sounded very much like an order. Especially considering the intonation of the one who responds being seemingly quite submissive. So, yeah, that's what you're getting. And then you reach Peggy Andrews's quarters.
Should I try and sleight of hand and pickpocket one of the bodyguards?
Do you want to?
I mean, I'm asking the chat. Do you think I should do it?
Do it.
Do
Just
it.
Chaos. Why not?
Okay.
Wait, isn't the post roll?
Go ahead, roll.
So I guess tells me no. Archie, no. That's not good. Nope, don't make that a hashtag.
Archie, no. Archie, yes.
Okay, chat is telling
Chat
me no.
says no.
Chat says no. I obey.
Computer says no.
I obey the chats. I'm sorry. Which is probably for the best. These dice have not been kind.
Even Michael says no. It must be bad.
Yeah, right.
You could break it.
It's just traditionally with Cthulhu, you should be doing like I'm just trying to beat a target, right? But when Rin picks up dice as well, I know it's a bad idea.
Damn it! I should have waited.
Now that you establish that you're not going to do it, just roll and see what would have happened.
No, that's no fun.
No, I don't want to do that because I might regret it, and I'm trying to avoid regret.
Exactly.
I'm nearly 40. I have way too much regret.
Yeah, when without it, that's
If you re-
Oh.
if you regret it now, you can do it again later.
I'll just do it when no one else is around. So
So, I'm going to say that you spend the time between lunch and dinner basically relating to these three plus Marcel what the dealio is. You can decide how many details you share, or if there are specific bits that you intentionally leave out, let me know.
Well, for Peggy, she would tell basically everything except for the pieces that are directly linked to her employer.
Erica Carlisle.
Yes.
Very professional. Wait,
Mm.
it sounded like she had
Like
two
about
employees there.
we found out, but not why and how much involved.
Yeah.
What kind of family? What we're hunting for?
Yeah.
Who we're looking for? Like Peggy's just doing this. She's not hired from anybody else. That's
Yeah.
what she's trying to get across.
I got a point.
Yeah.
If he at some point is going to remind Archie that the stuff that was taken from Ashling's office
Yeah.
were all from the Peru expedition.
Well, one thing was from the Peruvian expedition.
Alright, so it was a general swipe.
No, it was the mask.
I was under the impression that the stuff that was taken from her office indicated that there might be a connection to the Peruvian cult.
I never said any such thing. I said
There
that
isn't?
the
Okay.
mask was gone.
Right, well, I'm going to talk about the mask.
Yeah.
We all get to take insanity checks next time because we talked about it.
No, not really. Let's see. Just gotta check some stuff. The books that the professor has turns out to be one copy of The Key of Wisdom and a copy of the Clavis Solomon.
One sounds like a manga, and the other one sounds like a positive thinking guide.
Key of Solomon, was it? No.
Key of Wisdom and Clavis Solomon. Clavis written with a C.
Clavis is a bone, isn't it?
You're thinking
Clavicle.
clavicle?
Oh, yeah.
Clavis Solomon. Clavis. And then Solomon.
Lavis.
The what of Solomon? Clavis.
I think that means, or it's the same as King of Solomon, the book. No?
Well, I want to Google what Clavis means, because I can.
I think it's key or what is it called? Glossary index. Index key, like content.
Oh god, it's a cipher for the King Solomon then. Great.
Oh, cool.
Spells aplenty. So we just... Hey guys, should we kill them and take their books?
No.
He is more than willing to lend them to you
Oh, that's not as fun. but
for
alright.
study, should you be interested. Granted that they are returned to him before the
Well,
journey is over.
There's got to be a bit where Archie says, get on that, Aisling. Iffy. Iffy, I'm an Iffy.
Yes. Let's see.
Does the German break out the schnapps?
He doesn't have any.
What kind of a German is he?
Well,
That's
that's
why
been
he-
living in America for quite some time.
No, that's fine.
He brings out the coarse light.
I said I'm American! Guten Tag!
Let's see.
Demonstrating the stupidity of racial stereotypes one episode at a time.
How much do you drink?
Yes.
Marcel does actually not drink that much.
Oh, you phony.
Sips.
Silver hasn't touched a drop.
How much does Archie drink before Peggy stops him? That's the question.
Well, Peggy has had a discussion with him before, and he's drinking, so she's not doing anything.
Yeah, but
She's drinking herself.
does she look at him at any point with a disappointed
Oh,
face?
yeah.
There we go, that would
Oh.
stop him. There'll be this moment where he looks across the room and she's just looking at him and he'd be like, oh yeah, whoops. I'm just going to put this here. And now I'm getting water.
So, that means that the lot of you are not completely inebriated when dinner time comes around. It is served at 8 o'clock, and you're all invited to the captain's table for a special dinner. And you are given directions there. Sorry. A little bit. Sip needed. It's a different room than the one you had lunch in. This one is filled with, like, the floor is, it looks marble, and there are pillars that are gilded, and the tables are set based on living accommodations, so to say. So everyone who has, like, their booking together is sat more or less together. Sorry, I have a bit of a tickly throat. But there is possibilities for having certain accommodations made. So if, for example, you wanted Marcel to be seated with you, that is possible. The 3 others will be seated at the table, though.
Lessons. What a gang.
Mr. PTSD, Monsieur Naivete, and Little Miss I Murdered My Husband, and now Mummy Issues. Wow, the whole gang is here. Chaos Crew assemble.
Was there some kind of
Thank you,
suicide
chat.
squad?
Oh no!
Well, not really. No, that's fairly certain that's patented. That's trademark.
Oh, dang it.
For the sake of brevity, we're just going to say that Marcel is seated with the 3 of you.
I think Marcel has convinced everyone that he should hold on to the books for some reason.
Well, if everyone else dies.
I think you would have to argue with Aoife on that.
Ah, okay.
And she's Irish, so
You'd lose.
she
Oh, dang.
wins.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Can I look at the book?
So,
It's one of them?
back box.
As long as you're supervised, then alright, I'll allow it.
Oh, c'est très bien. I will take care of this as if it was my own child.
And he starts flipping through and reading
Oh,
it.
do you have
Yes.
children?
You are not allowed to bring them to the dinner,
Oh.
though. She does not allow
Well,
you
I
to
will
bring
look
her
at
to
it
the
later.
dinner. So, you are seated at dinner, and you spot this man you saw earlier, seated at a table, and he seems to be accompanied by 2 more men at this point. Let's see.
More bodyguards.
Must be important. Those guys, they don't feed themselves.
If it was Peggy, he could take her.
He is sitting to a table that seems to be slightly closer to the kitchen entrance. And there seems to be a different person bringing his food. And I'm not even going to ask you for a spot hidden check for this, because it is blatantly obvious that one of these 2 extra men that you haven't seen before accompanying him seems to be his food taster, and tastes all of his food and drink before this man starts eating. Marcel, you spot the widow Charlotte Babington at a table not too far from you. Why don't you roll a listen?
Listen.
Listen
18.
while you work.
Yeah, that's pretty good. 18.
80's pretty good.
18, yes. You recognize her voice, and she's in conversation with her aunt, saying, "Oh, I'm pretty sure it is. Yes, I heard them say that he might be some sort of royalty or nobility, and that he's going back to Europe to find a wife." Are you sure of this? Are you sure of this, Charlotte? Is this something you're making up again? No. I heard it from the girls that were seated next to us at lunch, and I'm pretty certain that this is fact.
As Marcel hears this, he looks down and like straightens his clothes and makes sure they look more proper. Dusts his off a little bit. There we go.
Must keep your parents on.
Probably a very long shot. But Peggy has been in circles in Europe.
Yes.
Does she have any idea who this guy could be? Because this is the first time she's properly seen him, isn't it? She's been to finishing school in Switzerland, been all over. Like, does she know all legible bachelors?
So the son of the Kaiser.
Yeah, I'm the son of the Kaiser. No, you must believe me.
What would you roll for that?
This is happening like nowhere. Marcel wasn't allowed in the room where it happens, was he?
I'd like you to roll a luck, and
A
you
luck.
have to have a extreme success.
Oh.
Ja, det vil si du må rulle 3 eller 4 eller lavere.
No,
No.
Charlotte is not
Yeah.
saying that Marcel is nobility or the she is clearly indicating towards the Russian.
Extreme success is 1/5 of your skill.
So it's the
Well-
lowest number.
Because you've got critical success is 0/1.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with 37, it's not.
No. Is that a hard success? As in half? Under half?
Half is a hard.
No, half is 30.
Yeah, no. No, you have no idea.
Half is
This
15.
one has passed you by.
30.
Oh, but my original is.
Yeah, but you're...
Okay,
you're
well,
correct.
yeah, it's definitely not that.
No.
Yes, sorry.
Nope. You haven't the foggiest.
No.
So,
Rich nobility
yes.
from Europe? Don't know her.
Who this bitch?
Oh yeah. I do need you all to roll a spot hidden, actually.
Ooh.
All of
And
it?
Marcel, you can do it with a bonus die.
What does that mean?
That means that you roll the 10 die, as in like the tenors, twice, or you roll 2 of those and you use the best one.
I thought we were all in
Okay.
Peggy's suite now.
It's either 60
No.
or 20.
Dinner.
I'll go with 20.
Oh, 'cause dinner.
Yes.
Right. Can't Peggy push that roll? Or to see if she can...
Yeah, you can push it,
I mean, it makes
but
sense.
actually no, I don't think you can push luck rolls.
Oh, luck rolls? No, you can't push
No.
luck. Yeah. But yeah, you are
Uh,
the spot hidden.
Yes.
That was so sadistic. It was on 005, and then the dice just went, fuck you.
What about
Oh,
you,
we're-
Cooper? You rolled 4. And Peggy rolls.
43 out of 39, so
Okay.
no.
So, Marcel, You notice.
God
You notice this because you notice Cooper is staring at something, and just by the column, just by the entrance, you have like a set of columns at the inside of the entrance and a set just outside, and just behind the set of columns outside the entrance to this dining hall, you spot that priest you saw earlier.
Oh, a lurking priest.
And yeah.
Spot the preacher.
What is he doing, the priest?
He is just. It looks like he's just standing there reading in a book.
We gotta kill him.
Cooper, however, because you rolled, you had such a good roll, you do notice that he's holding the book upside down,
Oh,
and doesn't seem to be that focused on it. Clearly, for a 4, yeah, you do catch him casting a glance in the general direction of where the widow is sitting, and also the trio you talked to earlier, and this Russian. All these 3 groups are sitting in the vicinity where he seems to be sort of sneaking glances.
I nudge Marcel and whisper, "Look at the book."
Yeah, you notice it now too.
That is very, very strange.
It's a Bible, but it's upside down. And it's very easy to spot it because it has a cross on the front.
This is
Does
now
the
panic
priest have a beard?
He has... Let me check, actually. He has a stubble.
Okay.
He looks like he needs a shave.
Monsieur Cooper, if you excuse me, I'm going to get some fresh air, maybe read a little.
Would you like some company?
Well, certainly.
Excellent.
I would like you both to roll a psychology.
That I'm good at.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
You
71.
I have shit psychology.
I have 70 and I rolled a 71.
Okay.
Well, if it would have been Peggy, would have succeeded.
I rolled 77.
Yeah. It seems like the 2 of you getting out of your seats must have ruffled his feathers a little bit, and caused the reaction to disappear a little quicker than you could catch it. But there's something very clearly a bit suspicious about this fellow, and the way he reacts and then suddenly leaves. It could be the case that it could be just the case that he's caught somewhere he shouldn't be, or it could be something more. But there's certainly something not quite right about this fellow. So he is walking away by the time you pass the column he was standing by.
Monsieur Cooper, I'm quite interested in seeing what this priest was doing. Also, if we happen to prevent possibly an assassin of a possible royalty, that would put quite a coin in our purse, would you not think? No? Something funny?
Maybe we could even get favor of this gentleman over there. And I point to the rich, suspicious-looking Russian guy with the bodyguard.
Hmm. Cooper is. You know what? We've seen so much weird shit lately. An assassin would probably just be another icing on the cake.
Either way, I'm interested into what man reads book upside down. No.
Well, he was obviously not
Okay.
ready.
So you're gonna attempt to follow this man?
Yes.
Yes,
Awesome.
stealthily.
Yes.
Oh.
Please roll stealth.
Use your words carefully.
Come on, Cooper. You've done this before.
With varying success.
There are no
Third.
doors now.
36, and I have 42.
Oh, yes.
Yes, just barely.
Yes. 20 blank.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I basically I stand on Cooper's feet and I walk, and he walks me like a little puppet.
Trod.
Let's see. Okay.
Dum,
Okay.
dum, 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 dum,
Dun
dum.
dun 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 dun.
Snake, this is a stealth mission.
Damn.
And pull out a gun, stealth is optional.
Da-dum, 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 da-da-da-da-dum.
Dun 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun.
You follow this man and manage to do so very stealthily as he hurriedly makes his way off the A deck, which is where you're currently staying, and all the way down to deck E.
Okay.
Deck E. Where he turns around and tries to check if someone's followed him, but he just misses you as you withdraw back behind a corner, and he closes the door. And you can both roll a listen.
Hey, listen.
Hey, listen.
Listen!
24, so I'm good.
No. No, the hearing problem is back.
Yeah. There's a lot more noise down here than there was upstairs. And Marcel is standing closer to the door and leans in, and you catch at least two voices speaking in what must be Russian. Do you speak Russian?
No.
No. You recognize that it must be Russian, but you don't understand what is being said. And there's some shuffling, and then you hear footsteps coming towards the door again.
Monsieur Cooper, they're coming. I believe they're Russian. Hide. Hide.
You got the Russian away.
We must hide.
Oh, fuck.
Is there any obvious hiding places nearby?
Yeah, there is plenty, actually.
Bulkheads.
There are lots of corridors here that you could easily just slip away to.
Bulkheads. Thousands of them.
You note yourself, you make a note of the number on the door. It is not stated here, so I'm just going to say arbitrary 53E. Because it's... What?
Sorry, I was thinking, would it be funny if it was 53 and you said it?
What?
What?
That's what.
I read your mind.
I just... Wow, okay, yes. It's great.
And that is where we're going to call it for tonight, because it is just past 10 o'clock. We have streamed for 3 hours. Our time is up. Till then, have a wonderful time. And thank you for watching. Be sure to answer the call. Bye.
Pay your taxes.
Bye.
Just kidding.